It's a high chaos ball, a wobbler. Oh, Reynolds, favoured by the bounce. He's going to turn it round the body, and he's got enough on it.
And welcome to For the Bounce, Season 2, Episode 7. I'm Tommy Javor, your fill-in host. I've got some questions. Who's going to fix the Crows? Were Port exposed on Saturday? Nord winless in league and reserves? And should Goodwin pack his snow gear? But without further ado, let me introduce a man with many strong opinions. I'm looking forward to hearing him. The great man, Barry Curtin. Welcome, Baz.
Hey, Tommy, how you going, mate? Good to be here. It's great to be here. Now, I'm taking the place of Smythe.
Yes.
Who is out with a dandruff injury.
Yes, just off the side there. Yeah. He's proud of the side bits, but there's a little bit of a...
Okay. And Ando, of course. Ando was going to be here helping me out, but you now have taken his spot.
Yes.
Because he went in for a haircut yesterday, won't be out till Saturday at some stage. So they're both missing, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to answering all your questions as well.
I'm looking forward to the controversy you'll bring, and for once I'm the straight man, the sensible one, and Barry, you can just load up and let him go.
But seriously, mate. Seriously here, does anyone really want to fix the Crows? Do they want to fix them? Because
let's leave the Crows for an hour, Baz. We come back to it. Now, I know the shotgun is loaded and you're going to spray it all over Amy Stadium. Is that where they are these days? Footy Park, Amy Stadium? What do we call it these days?
They should be.
Have they knocked it down? Anyway, we'll get to that.
Okay.
And, my wife goes to the Crows, so go easy.
Really?
Yeah. She's not that bright. She married me.
Trade up.
Plenty of good spots available on top of the ladder. But look, let's talk about Port, who were top, and unfortunately they stopped. Were they found out by Brisbane, or are Brisbane the real deal? Your thoughts, please?
I would think that Brisbane are certainly a real deal. I think they're a terrific side. But you've got to put it in perspective here. They played 4 games in a row at the Gabba. They're on fire, for sure. Port are in a hub, they're away. If you would have said to Ken Hinkley at the start of the season, we'll give you 4-1 after you've been in a hub, he would have taken that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So,
the Crows would have taken it too.
Well, of course they would, but they're not. No. But they played 4 games in a row at the Gabba. They played 1 game away, Brisbane, and they lost.
Yep.
So let's put it in perspective.
Yep.
Ports have come home with a 4-1.
Yep.
Top of the ladder. Boy, you've got to be happy with that. If you're not happy with that, then there's something wrong with you. So, yes, I think they were exposed in a few areas, but I don't think it's anything that's not fixable. Better
to be exposed in late June, early July than September.
Absolutely.
One thing that I've enjoyed is I haven't heard a lot of excuses coming out of Alberton. Got beaten on the day, and Brisbane were very good.
Yeah,
Brisbane looked very quick too. So
you're not going to get excuses coming out of there. You can't have excuses in the AFL today. In my opinion, there's no excuse. You got beaten, then there's reasons. You played poorly. The other team might have played well. I thought Brisbane played extremely well after quarter time. But that game could have been a lot different had Port kicked straight.
Absolutely.
It could have been.
If their first 5 misses a goal, all of a sudden scoreboard pressure, it changes the whole dynamic of the game.
Of course it does. So yes, they were exposed in a couple of areas, but I don't think it's anything that can't be fixed.
Now, obviously, we've got notes to work from the producer, so a few people get clips tonight. We haven't missed Anderson. I think Smythe got a little one about the dandruff. Jimmy Dalwood, just how are things travelling at Nord? He'd be a bit disappointed, but he's also coaching the PAC seconds. Apparently, they were short price, $1.08 for the flag. Got done by 10 goals on the weekend, mate. So
he was another one that could have been here.
He could have been here, but no, they went with the best 2 off the bench warmers you've ever seen.
I quite agree with that, but that's a 10-goal flogging for flag favourites.
Got to be better than that. But let's talk about Nord just briefly, mate. Have you had a chance to have a look at any of those games?
I have, yeah. I thought that, I didn't think they played that badly.
No.
But, Nord are Nord. They're sitting... They're bottom. They haven't won a game there's only 2 games.
Collective margin of 5 points. They lost by 3 points and 2 points.
That's my point. That was my point exactly. They're a very good unit. They're not going to continue on in that vein. The only game they've won as a club is the under-18s, and they've only won 1. So that'd be something very new to that football club. But they are a very good football club, and they'll be back. They're close.
Let's put it into perspective as well. They've played Glenelg, North Adelaide, and I think they are going to be 2 of the very best teams. And North Adelaide as well, it's not in the notes. Interesting statistic I read the other day, haven't lost at Adelaide Oval in a long time. They came from 5th, obviously. They won 5. They won both of them. That's 7 in a row. So, it's one of those funny stats that you go back a long way. North like playing at Adelaide Oval.
And recruited pretty well too. Andrew Moore, ex-Port Adelaide, come back from the VFL. They recruited well. So they're going to be
young, doing good things.
Yeah, exactly.
They've got leg speed.
They're going to be hard. That's right. They've got good leg speed, and they'll be hard. But don't write Nord off. Nord, no. You never write Nord off. They're a very, very strong footy club and a very proud one, and they will not like sitting on the bottom of the ladder.
And I've had a chance to spend time with James Fantasia, their CEO and leader. An amazing man, and wish them every success, even though down at Centrals. Let's talk about the other red and blue, and that's Melbourne and Simon Goodwin's Melbourne. They continue to play one poor quarter of footy, and they lose.
You've got to ask yourself the question about Melbourne. Are they the same? Are they better than last year, or are they the same?
I think they're better, but
I think they're the same. I just think Melbourne are Melbourne.
Melbourne and Melbourne. They find a way.
They find a way to look poor.
They snatch defeat from the jaws of victory.
They just look. They look ordinary at times.
Yep.
Where at other times, they play like millionaires.
Petrarca, Oliver, Viney, these names.
Look what Oliver did on the weekend.
Yeah.
A very good player, Oliver.
Yep.
And I think in the end, it was his kick that cost them.
Yeah.
In the end, it was a poor kick from him out of the middle.
It was a poor kick from an under-12.
Exactly. And so I think Melbourne just find a way to lose. There's got to be a little problem there somewhere. Yep. I think Goody's in a bit of strife. That's what I think. I think he's in a bit of strife. I think he was in a bit of strife last year. Mm-hmm. He was in a bit of bother last year. But I think now, because there's always this huge build-up with Melbourne at the start of the year. Watch out for the D's. Well, beauty.
Yeah, and probably escalating that is the sense that you've seen a Western Bulldogs break a 56 year, whatever it was, 50. It was 1954 was the last premiership. Yeah. You've seen Richmond, the perennial 9th place finishers, break a 30-odd. Glenelg as well now. These long droughts are breaking, and I think the other two on the radar. If you look at the sample, South Adelaide, who are starting to look good, and then Melbourne, they're the two. I guess those supporters just be desperate to break.
Well, there's always a joke about the snow. There's always a joke about, they're going to leave for the snow early. Well, if I was Goody right now, I'd be packing my gear. I'd be putting a little bit away.
Some of my mates are very fond of the snow jokes.
Well, I'm not sure who they've got on the weekend, but it won't be good.
No. Yes, we'll see. Look,
Adelaide.
Choke it down. That's what I'm saying.
Could be.
No, look, we can't exist without our great sponsors, so we're just going to take a quick break and have a look and thank our great sponsors. And we're back. Thanks for joining us. Now, I'm making some changes to the run sheet. I'm bringing in a new segment because we've got a great man here and he deserves some time, and there's a red hot topic he is keen to unleash on. So, it's time to stop the pain. It's time for the Curtin Call. Barry, tell us your thoughts on the Adelaide Crows. Where is it going wrong? What would you do to fix it?
Now, before I do say anything here, please don't just think because I'm a Port Adelaide man. You know I'm a Port Adelaide man. You know that I have a little bit of fun at the Crows' expense every now and then, or every day, every minute. But you have to be, if you're a Crows person at the moment, you've got to be asking yourself a couple of questions. My big beef with the Crows at the minute is their list management. That's where I think that they're poor, very poor. When you look at the fact that
it's a bad place to have a problem.
Well, mate, when you look at the fact, and I'm only talking about Port Adelaide players here, when you look at the fact that they could have had Zach Butters, Xavier Dersma, Todd Marshall, the Crows could have had these players, yet they didn't take them. Mm-hmm. So, okay, then you ask the question, who did they take? And guess what? You don't know, because these blokes have not played a game. So their problem is, I think they overculled at the start of the year. Yep. They got rid of too many blokes. Now they've got...
So who shouldn't have gone? Would you have got rid of Betts?
Well, he was going anyway.
Yeah,
they're hard to keep. I probably would have kept a bloke like Jenkins.
Yeah, that's
the big four, because Tex is gone. I don't care what they say about Tex.
He's out for 2 weeks now with knee soreness.
With knee soreness. I'll tell you why he's out. He's out because it saves dropping him. And don't tell me any different here, because look at his stats last week. They were deplorable. They were bad. Now, I said on a show last week that I don't want any Port Adelaide players having a go at Tex Walker because, or not Port Adelaide players, but Port Adelaide supporters, because I think Tex is one of the great players of the AFL. When he the game he
Beautiful
played against
kick.
Port, a fantastic player. Well, the game he played against Port Adelaide in an elimination final, but the year he got drafted, I think he kicked about 7 or 8 goals.
Adelaide
And
Oval,
they-
he kicks, and
Adelaide
he's kicking
Oval.
him from outside
And
50
he
as an
smashed them
18-year-old.
by himself.
So, mate, I was at that game.
I looked at that guy that day and I thought, you, mate, are a star. And I turned to the
Yep.
Port Adelaide guy, I was with a board member, and I said, get him. They said, too late, mate. He's a Crows man. Oh, that's bad luck. So he's been a great player. But since Tex has done his knee and Tex has lost that ability to jump, leap, run, I mean, you cannot play AFL football if you are not agile enough to do it. And he's not agile enough to do it right now.
No.
He is, I feel sorry for Tex.
Reminds me a little bit of Tom Hawkins a few years ago when he was back.
I just feel sorry for him. I just feel sorry for Tex because they keep picking him. They should, you know, when they dropped Crouch
he's
a
got a
couple of
couple
weeks
of
ago, when they dropped Crouch a couple of weeks ago, they should have dropped Tex. You're giving him a run, or he doesn't get a run, does he? Because he can't go back to Nord or whatever. But I don't know what Tex needs. I think Tex needs to be playing with Broken Hill or whatever, because I just don't think that he fits into their team anymore. I think you can give it to Fogarty and just leave Tex out.
That's probably the next question. Look, I think Tex has been a champion, and he may well be again. So, I mean, you're absolutely entitled to your opinion. I hope Tex gets back. As you said, he's a great guy, and he's been a great leader of the club.
Great player.
He was voted by the Players Association as the best captain, but obviously he's in a different place now. I want to ask you, it's 0-5, obviously. I'm not trying to be smart here or funny. Is it time to play the kids? Do they play? I mean, it's 2020's
Where are they, mate? Who have they got?
Well,
they've
got to blame your McCassies and these types of...
They've been playing them. Do you know, a guy said an interesting thing to me when Port beat them in the showdown by 75 points. One of the guys said to me, do you know what's good about that? That is their best side. They played their best possible side against Port Adelaide that day in the showdown. Now, that side is not good enough. That side is not good enough to win a game. Who are they going to beat now? Freo was the one to beat. They got West Coast this week at Metricon. They'll get slaughtered.
Maybe they come home against St Kilda, the home ground. Maybe they find their voice. That 19th man, caw that they do. I don't know if they still do that. They do that 19th man thing, caw. But okay, look, let's try and solve the problems, Barry. Let's be constructive. Okay. Is it the midfield? Is it too one-dimensional? Is that? I mean, games are so often won and lost in the midfield. There's much of a muchness about your Crouches and your Slows. They're all great ball winners, but.
Slow midfield. Forward line that just
Charlie Cameron for me is the one they couldn't afford to lose.
That's the one. Charlie Cameron. Slow midfield. You know, they said to me last week in the tipping competition, right? Who are you picking out of Adelaide and Fremantle? I said, right. Adelaide have got the best forward line. Adelaide have got the best midfield. Adelaide have got the best defence, and they've got the best ruckman in that whole thing. Fremantle by 5 goals. Because Adelaide don't play as a team. Adelaide do not, and I don't care what anyone says, Crow supporters will tell you this, they don't look to me on the ground like they play together.
I'd say they're not galvanised
exactly.
currently. I think that's a fair comment.
You know, you don't look to see...
They're trying.
Do you know what you look for? You look for a guy kicking a goal, which has been very rare for Adelaide, by the way, but it's the people that go up to him.
Get around him.
Well done, mate. Great goal. Have a good look next time you see Adelaide play, and you watch. There'll be 2 guys go to that guy. Just give him a little tap. That's not a team to me. You know, that's not a team. That's a team that looks like they're, please get this season over and done with. That's what it looks like. They're in trouble because they keep getting themselves into trouble. The camp, they keep bringing that camp up. It's 2 years ago. It should never have been brought back up again. It's never been brought back up. But it's been brought back up. Now they're talking about the health and safety people getting involved. I mean, for God's sake. They're bringing this on themselves. They bring it on with their recruiting. They're saying now, okay, we're going to have 6 picks inside the top 20. If we finish bottom, we'll get 6 picks inside the top 20. Think about that. So they go out and they recruit all these great kids. Adelaide's other big problem? Retention. They don't keep them. They might stay for 2 years, gone. Why does that happen? That's the question you've got to ask. Why don't they keep players? Because they've had a long history of it, haven't they? Of these, but if you wrote down a team here,
Bernie Vince did that team of 21 players that. So
have a look at that side. That would win most games in the AFL. So why do these guys leave? No one's actually come out and said, "Oh, I've only left because my wife is from Victoria." No. They leave because there's problems. There's an issue in the football club. There's an issue somewhere there.
Oh, and look,
Where's their chairman and where's their president been in the last 2 weeks? Have you heard from Fagan or have you heard from Chapman in the last 2 weeks? No. Poor old Mark Rasciuto has to poke his head out there and get it shot off.
Yeah.
And Nixie has to do it all. Well, where's your chairman? Where are these people?
Yep.
It's all right when you're going, well, out comes Fagan and out comes Chapman and everything's terrific.
All right.
But when it's rough...
Let's take the port hat off for a sec. Let's make out we love the Crows. All right.
Yeah. What do we do?
I think sometimes when you're struggling, you try too hard, and that's what they reek of for me at the moment. I think one good win, whether it's this week or whether it's at home against St Kilda, it can turn so quick. In 2017, Barry, you won't want to admit this, but in 2017, they were the powerhouse of the AFL. They were the strongest team. They went into the grand final. I said they'd win by 7 goals. They clearly didn't, and it has gone downhill since then. But
Power stance.
A team that was that strong, it can change so quick. And that same year, don't forget, Brisbane would gutter bottom. Yeah. So it can turn around very quickly. They've just got to try and get it. You still have
to have the list.
Yep.
It's all right to say, we can turn this around.
Yep.
But they will not turn it around with the list they've got. They will not, and they're going to lose.
That's your opinion. I still think the Crouch brothers are fantastic players. I think Miller are being
gone.
Well, they're not gone yet.
Brad Crouch will go. Andy, you're gone.
There's possibility.
When the coach comes out and says, look, we'll talk to Brad and we'll do what's best for Brad. I looked at that comment and I thought, hang on, no. You're virtually saying he's gone. I would have said, no, he's a required player and he stays with our football club. That's all you have to say. But no, I will work out what's best for Brad. Rubbish. That's what I think anyway. I think they're going to lose a couple more at the end of the year. I really do. And if they do, they're in all sorts of bother because they can't afford to now. Like I said earlier, Tommy, I think they overculled at the start of this year.
Yep.
They overculled. So they got rid of too many players.
Yep.
You know, the senior experienced players.
After 30 years, though, I don't think they've had a period like this. They're facing it now. They're 0-5, maybe 0-6, 0-7. I just see it turning around as soon as they get that one win, and I hope for their sake they do, Baz.
Okay. The other thing is too, mate, when I came into the league in 1991 as the Adelaide Football Club, the very first thing I would have done was got myself a licensed venue. The very first thing I would have done
Somewhere for
my supporters to come back after the game and we will introduce some players and we'll have a couple of beers and everything will be terrific and we can sing the song and beauty. But right now, when they play at Adelaide Oval, me and you go as Crow supporters, we go and watch them. At the end of the game, well, I got to go. Well, I'm going to have a drink at the Land of Promise on Port Road. You're going to have a drink at the Woodville. The other blokes are going to have a drink at the West Lakes or whatever. It doesn't work. With Port Adelaide, bang, back to Alberton. 500 people, players, everything.
Yep.
The players have to come back in and talk to the punters. That's been going on for 100 years at the footy club. That's a football club. And Crow supporters admit that. The Crow supporters have been crying out for a venue for a long time. They've been crying out for a venue. And do you know the Crows answered to that a couple of years ago? It is not on our agenda. Now, if I'm a Crow supporter, I'll be going, well, you're not on my agenda. That's what I'd be saying.
I don't think we're solving the Crows' problems here, Barry. Again, you say there's trouble. I'd say they're in for a very, very tough year. But they're a club with a lot of resources, and I think they will bounce back. It's just a matter. It's not a matter of when. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when. Hopefully, be delayed later down the track this year. We're going to take a very short break to our sponsors. I'm going to just pour some water on Barry and calm him down. I think you're taking a bit of joy from the Crows to spare.
No. See, this is what I said at the start. Please don't think just because I'm a Port Adelaide supporter that I'm having a dig here. But I look at that football club and I think to myself, wow, you are under so much pressure and you're not handling it very well. That's just how I feel. And I'm sure there'd be Crow supporters out there that feel exactly the same as I do.
Yep. All right. Best of luck for the rest of the year, Crows. Don't let Barry have the keys because he might shut the door. We'll be back after this short break. And welcome back, Baz. Our next segment is called Game of the State, where we talk about all things football in South Australia. It's brought to us by Sports Centre for all your club clothing and corporate wear designs and logos. Their Sports Centre speciality. Baz, it's a 9-game season. It's all happened very quick. Players have had a 3-month break. How do you reckon they're feeling on Sunday morning after round 1 of the Adelaide Footy League?
I spoke to the coach of Brunella today.
Yep.
In the Southern Footy League.
Yep.
And he said to me, his big problem was testosterone. Because these guys have not done anything for so long.
Yep.
And here they go, all of a sudden, boom, we're on, boom.
Yep.
Out they go, and they're going to kill someone.
Yep.
So you got to be careful. But these blokes will be very, very sore.
Yep.
The interesting thing, Divi 1, that's always a tough competition.
Yeah,
It
very
really
even.
is in the Adelaide Footy League. And I see that Jack Trengo,
Yeah, your boy.
was in the best for PAC's big win over Goody Saints.
Yep.
That is a good win, by the way.
It
That's
certainly
a very
is.
good win.
Goodwood Saints with 6 or 7 big recruits from the sample.
Yeah.
Everyone just expected bang, top of Div 1. That's not the case. Now, what I will say about that game is it was at PAC. Goodwood at Goodwood this year will be incredibly hard to beat on that tiny little postage stamp because you'd expect them to win the midfield with the Thring brothers and these types.
Yeah, okay.
The story out of that one for me as well, and again, I'll get murdered for saying this at Payneham, obviously being a Payneham Life member, Barry, but I think PAC are the team to beat. You look at the names, Jolly, Pitt, Bartlett, there's some real quality and a real steely resolve about their 3-point grand final loss to Payneham. But the one name that appears, the most important name to me, and it is great to have you back, young man, Adam Perryman, who has been fighting cancer, back in the Reds. That's the story of the week for me. Well done to Adam
That's a great
and his
story.
family. I love yous. Well done. Great stuff.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
You just don't know that with these things. And
No, that's a fantastic. The other one I should mention here with the footy league is Port Districts, who've also recruited pretty well.
They have.
They picked up Matty Appleton from the Magpies and also Tommy Corcoran, very, very good player. So they had to go somewhere, didn't they, those Port Adelaide players, because they're not playing.
Exactly
and
right.
whatever,
They ran into a very tough spot on the weekend.
Did they ever?
Got
And they said it was
brained.
tough. Yeah, they said it was tough. Yeah.
Yep.
They said it was tough. But anyway, that's the boys. Now, I had a look through the country papers online, and I saw the name Ottens.
Yep.
Here's one for you. And I thought of Brad Ottens, of course, one of the great big men, I think. Terrific, big mobile, great player with the Cats. With the Cats and Richmond, I think.
Yep.
But it's Gareth. Ottens there. He's built a typical country resume.
Yep.
Now, his nickname is Rupper. He's played 300 games, 4 premierships. He was a 2018 male medalist. He's captain of the club, described as a leader of men. Now, that's a great honour at a footy club. If you're described that way at your footy club, you've done really, really well.
Absolutely.
And Blythe, Snowtown are also the Cats.
Yes.
So that's where Big Brad made his name. Now, there's no relation. No relation. But he's obviously a terrific player.
Yep.
And with a little resume like that, there's a lot of country blokes that have got resumes like that.
26 country leagues. There's so many great stories in every league. And Ruffer, you're just one great story. So well done.
In the Northeastern Footy League, isn't it? It's the Northern Argus.
And I was actually out that way today, Claire, a beautiful part of the world. Sunny 0 degrees when I rolled up at 8:30 a.m.
0.
It was 0. And my wife told me not to wear shorts, but I'm dumb. So anyway, Baz, we are going to move on to a segment. We've taken a lot of time trying to solve the Crows' problems. Don't think we did that, but this is called 10 quick fire questions with TJ. So I'm just going to shoot some questions. I just need one of those like black, white, real quick answers off the bat if you can. And these aren't going to be easy. Best 2 Port players in your time.
Wow. Even obviously one.
Russell and someone.
I'd say Nathan Buckley would be the other Port player that I think is a fantastic player. And that's tough because there's some guys there that I could throw in, Greg Phillips and co.
Craig Bradley's my favourite player of all time.
Craig Bradley, I'll get shot for that. But Nathan Buckley would be my other one.
Toughest Rosewater player you played with?
No doubts here, Headley Marsharetti.
Okay.
And John Reardon.
And Johnny Reardon, yes. All right, I've got to read this one. Is it true you got 3 votes one day, even though the full forward kicked a bag?
Do you know what sort of bag he kicked?
No, I don't know.
He kicked 28. He kicked 28 goals. This is no kidding.
It's like you're opening this up for me.
He kicked 28 goals, and at the...
What did he get?
He got 2 votes, which is still his nickname today.
Okay, two
In
votes.
fact, it's his nickname. He actually kicked 28 goals, 9. So we had 37 shots per goal and got 2 votes.
That's not too bad. It's a good day.
Not too bad.
It's probably had 40. Did he handball at all?
We tried to find the umpire. We tried to find it because, come on. You know, if you kick 28 goals, 9, you're the best player on the ground.
Yeah, mate, in my opinion, if you kick 12 in 3/4, you're the best player on the ground. We've all been there. Let's move on. I don't want to get angry. Your golf handicap?
14.
Okay, not too bad. Your son Alex's golf handicap?
+1.
So 15 or?
No.
He's off 1.
He's got +1, which is below 1, which is below 0.
So he's better than you then.
Only a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Did you ask Joel Garner, of course, the famous player who played in South Australia in 82, 83, took 56 wickets in 8 Shield games, the big bird. Is that as fast as you can bowl on a very hot day with a hangover, and he nearly killed you?
No. It wasn't Joel. It was Holder. But I had a hangover against the West. I didn't have a hangover. I had a headache.
A beer-induced headache? Was it Michael Holding?
No, it was Van Burn Holder who gave me. They had an unbelievable attack, obviously, the West Indies, but he was brought back after lunch and bounced. His first 2 balls after lunch were bounces. And I said to him, because it was about 43 degrees, I just said to him, "Is that it? Is that the best you've got, my son? Is that as fast as you can bowl?
No,
You're in a bit of bother because you've got another 2 sessions to do this because I'm not going anywhere." So he got a bit nasty. He got a bit nasty. And yes, by the way, he did have a couple quicker. He let him go. Too.
They always said Andy Roberts had the 2 bounces, the sucker bouncer and the kill you bouncer.
Well, that day against the West Indies, it was weird because you see off the Roberts and
Marsh from Ghana.
Thank God for that. And then on comes 2 more. They just kept like falling out of trees. These blokes go, here they come, they bouncing the living. You know what? Of course, we never had helmets.
No.
I used to wear a Woman's Weekly as a thigh pad. And
is that a true story?
Well, I used to wear a hanky as a box. Although some of us needed a bread mill sheet, but it was,
the studio audience is enjoying this. It's a bit too much. Move on. Now, we've had a chat offline about this one. We both love this man. I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Comments, thoughts, feelings in Chapel.
One of the greatest captain that I ever played under by a million miles. By a million miles, and a great team person, a fantastic, who looked after his players. One of his, I'll just give you a quick one. One of his statements was, we asked him, he never used to give a pre-game speech, ever. So we would just walk on the ground. He would say, "Good luck," and off we go. But I asked him one day why he doesn't give that speech. Why doesn't he go, "Come on, you got to do, let's run fast and do that." And he just said simply to me, "If you don't know what you're doing by now out here, then you don't belong here." So full stop. Great captain, great man.
The man that drove World Series cricket and made pay equality for cricketers.
Absolutely outstanding.
Can I ask you one other question about Ian Chappell? Because again, he intrigues me as a human. Did you always find him to be honest?
Yes.
And that's a really interesting point for people to take on board. He doesn't tell lies, does he?
One of the great men. And his brother, but Ian, fantastic.
Gee, it was good to watch though, Greg. Anyway, moving on. I knew we'd get stuck on that one. Russell Ebert.
Champion. Came down to play 2 reserves games in 1968. That's all. And then he's going back to the Waikerie. 400 games and 4 medals later. Well, what can you say?
And what would Russell have been doing today if COVID hadn't hit? He'd be out there helping kids.
That's what he does, He runs a community program.
I know he does. It's an honour, and I don't get starstruck over anyone ever, not even you, except the great Russell Ebert. Because I know what the boys call him. They call him the Russell because he is the Russell.
He is the man. He's the man. And he was a bit of a wild boy when he first came down.
Was he?
I don't know if people know that, but no one's watching.
Big hands.
I used to party with Russell Ebert, and he was.
We're PG, so.
No. I'm not going to. But it was a conversation he had with Foss Williams that turned him around. He won the medal the year after. But Russ and I and Marrett and Mildy and Johnny Eden, a couple of those guys, we after the game on Saturday night, we would.
We might have to do it before the bounce after dark, and we'll come back to that. I've just given you $500. No, start again. Rocky has. This is very unlikely. Rocky has just given you $500 on a Friday night. What's the decision? What do you do?
Well, I think Rocky's got someone else's pants on. Where'd he get $500 from? What am I supposed to do with the $500?
No, you tell us. What would you do with it?
What would I do with it? What would I do with the $500 right now? I'd have $500 on the Crows winning the wooden spoon.
$1.08.
Is it
$540?
Yeah, but it's
no, it is. Yeah. This is a cryptic one. I think I know where this is going. Thoughts on a kid with very long blonde hair playing his first game for Port on a wing? Is that the great GA?
That is a great GA. And
out
he
of
was
St Michael's College, the 16-year-old.
Yeah, mate, I saw his game. I saw him. He was a great player.
Second best on ground in his first game, wasn't he?
Well, is that what Ando said?
That's what they said in my school magazine.
Okay, because I gave the awards that day. No, he was close to best.
Yeah,
that's what I thought. But he was a terrific player.
Yeah.
Great player.
No, he certainly was. Hey, look, thank you so much for joining us on Justin's just having a good time back there. Baz, it's your line, mate. We've got to be quick because I'm getting the wind up.
Oh, make sure you view, like and share all of our shows. Don't just like, because any of our lazy friends can do that, but actually view. I'm sure you'll be glad you did.
Yeah, so, and we've kept the seat warm for you, Ando and the General. We love your work and it's been a pleasure to fill in. Thanks for watching Before the Bounce.